This is King Drippy the One, and I'm here with another reaction video. This is a solo reaction to TommyNFG, and this is his Gen Z obsessed with a violence video. I ain't checked this shit out, but this is a fresh video. I wanted to make sure someone else was going to drop something, so I'm not posting like back to back content from someone else. If y'all ready to get into it, I'm ready to get into it, so let's get into it. No yapping. Let's start.
Imagine this scenario. You wake up for work at 7:15 a.m. to get ready, have to deal with an hour worth of traffic because road infrastructure in America is designed by people I presume who have never drove a car. You manage to make it just in time for your shift at 9. You work at the movie theater. All you have to do is make sure people have the right movie ticket and sweep the floor. You walk into one of the theaters as two final words are uttered from a movie. Chicken jockey. And proceed to get hit by 10 popcorn bugs with the force of a Boeing 737. The Minecraft chicken jockey incidents are just one of many trends that Gen Z has done, which has related to things such as vandalism, general violence, and harassment.
Y'all remember the diabolical lick trend? Like, I know if y'all are too young to like understand this trend, y'all shouldn't be watching my videos first thing. But if y'all remember this trend, I ain't even gonna hold you. It was the most dumbest shit I ever seen. Niggas in school was stealing bathroom like stalls and shit, stealing toilets and shit, and then posting it on their main accounts. That shit was dumb as shit. I was low key one of those kids that was like looking at it, and then I was like realized that my school was one of those schools that would be in there. I'll be like, yo, wait, that's our toilet lid. Oh wait, that's our toilet. Oh wait, that's our stall. The only reason I'm like mad at that shit and the reason why it blew me so much is because our school didn't want to fix the shit that got stole because it was like someone needs to confess, and until someone confess, y'all not getting it fixed. That shit really was like some different shit. They fixed it
And
sooner
I'm
or
here
later though.
to answer the question of why is Gen Z so violent? But before I start, that whole question can be answered pretty quickly. Some of you might be confused by the title because according to statistics, Gen Z overall is actually the generation with the lowest rate of violent crime ever recorded of any youth of a generation. And we're actually over 60% lower than baby boomers were at our ages. So take that, you old And now that I know about this, it's funny when I'm walking by grandma, she starts to clutch her purse. Like, I should be the one clutching my purse. Your generation was 60% more violent than us. So even though traditional violent crimes are way lower with us, we have way more of a psychological violence and mental violence. Just like I mentioned at the start of this video, one of our things is dangerous challenges. Growing up seeing these crazy challenges every year on YouTube did not help us develop well. Like, I remember the first time I saw someone doing the salt and ice challenge and thought how wild it was. If only they could see what we have now. People were intentionally burning their skin off for views and likes. And when you're a kid, you soak up things like a sponge. Because I don't know why, but my friends in the neighborhood gathered around to do it and see who could last the longest. They tried to offer me to
We didn't do this. We were the kids that was in school and we put them like Sharpie on our arms and put the iPhone lights against it, and we'll see how long that shit will last. But we had that one kid who will OD that shit. Like, we'll always have that one kid who will swear they're harder than everyone, who can like take every challenge that you give them. I feel like everybody had that kid, bruh. I ain't even gonna lie. Shout out to old dude because he's the kid that did a lot of funny shit for us. That nigga, he ate a Tide Pod in the middle of class. I'm not dodging that shit. I'm not saying do that shit. That was the most craziest, dumbest thing that he could do. But nigga did that shit in the middle of class, and like the whole class had to stop. A whole everything stopped because of that shit.
join in. Like, I like my sexy caramel skin being intact. I'm good off that. So us growing up with this mentality, of
He was
course
okay though.
nowadays we're gonna come up with dumb challenges and try to do it for views, which the Gen Alphas shall grow up and carry the tradition on after us. But on TikTok for us, it's gotten notably worse. I don't know if it's just because TikTok can generate easy ass views for almost anyone. Usually the challenges back then were absolutely brain dead, but at least it was just harming yourself. The next stage we've reached is harming others. The time I visibly
Yeah,
remembered
I'm
things
tired of
starting
this
to change
content.
was with the devious lick challenge. I had just graduated that year, so luckily I wasn't in high school anymore to witness that bullshit. But we casually made Rob that year, so
Hey, I ain't even gonna lie. This nigga graduated 2 years above me. I fuck with
Luckily, I
because
wasn't in high
during
school
my
anymore to witness
graduation,
that
I was wearing the
bullshit. But
same
we
colors.
casually made robbery a trend and funny. I feel like in other generations, they would have just been too scared to have the audacity to do something like this off being arrested. And being scared to be put on the local news and having all their friends and family laugh at them and make fun of them for it. Also, some of y'all may not know, but the devious lick trend, yeah, they brought this whole trend back. Instead of now destroying school bathrooms and vandalizing them, they're taking school Chromebooks and annihilating them.
Turn on.
I don't know if some of these high schoolers don't have a plan to go to college or get any future employment, but they're literally posting these videos on their personal accounts. You would think they would make burners so their school doesn't catch who's doing it, but you can search them on TikTok, Chromebook durability test yourself, and see how many of these high schoolers are doing it on their personal accounts. Then of course we got challenges like the Skull Breaker challenge and the Penny Outlet challenge. A lot of this is just for views.
I remember when niggas was doing that shit in school, especially that Skullbreaker shit. At first, it was all laughs and games and shit, but like most niggas was getting fucked up. And that Chromebook shit, I ain't even gonna hold you. That Chromebook shit, we ain't even have Chromebooks in our school. We had those iPads and shit. I ain't even gonna lie. I wish a nigga would do that shit with their iPad. They instantly getting caught. And then if you do that shit with someone else's iPad, like if I sit here and look for my iPad, go to like the library or some shit, mark that as report, and then they find like a random iPad in the toilet with my name on it. I don't think they gonna sit here and blame me for it. They gonna sit here and try to look for them niggas. And if they do blame me for that shit, I ain't even gonna lie. I go against the school for that.
But there is another aspect to it, in my opinion. I think what Gen Z really likes compared to other generations is the watching of people doing violent things. And this all stems from one place where everything on the internet links to. For demonetization reasons, I can't fully say it, and I don't know if I can. It rhymes with lore, and scroll on IG Reels about 5 times and you'll probably see it. The impact content has had on Gen Z is bigger than people think. There's probably a 90% chance anybody watching this in Gen Z has seen a video intentionally or unintentionally. Before YouTube cracked down on it, you could casually see it on here. And there was always that one kid in school who would go around and try to show people weird videos like that. Those type of dudes.
Shit, that same kid we was talking, that same kid that was like that like doing dares in our school. He was that kid that showed the gore and shit. And I ain't even gonna lie, we cracked down on that nigga. We was on that shit. We was like, bro, we don't want to see that shit. But like, he would try to like push everybody agenda. Oh, y'all gotta be soft. Y'all gotta be hard niggas to actually see shit like this. The fuck, nigga, you are weird. Like we kept telling that nigga he was weird. I don't know what kind of like shit certain people. I don't know if y'all have that in y'all generation when y'all in like high school, middle school. I don't know if y'all have that kid, but watch out for that nigga, please.
Were definitely school threats. Seeing these type of videos in general is bad for you, but for somebody with a growing mind seeing it, it's even worse. Which is why I think it's an aspect in us being obsessed with dangerous trends. We're so desensitized to us, it don't even matter anymore. I don't think humans were meant to see this much of violence in our lifetime. In past generations, you couldn't casually see this stuff. I genuinely think if something like 9/11 happened nowadays, people would probably forget after a week when another catastrophic event happens and start posting brain rot memes of the Twin Towers. Shows back then used to get in deep trouble when they made a joke about 9/11. It took multiple years for shows and movies to start making jokes because they knew the public would tear them up. But nowadays you'll have a bunch of people in the comments typing, oh man, TS funny as hell. Keep it up, gang. I know not everyone in our generation is like that. A lot of us know when the right time is to make a joke and when it isn't. Looking at IG Reel comments though shows you the other side of people who don't know and don't care. IG Reels to me is like the kick of short form content. People will say comments that isn't even formed as a joke and people die laughing at it. Going back to the challenges, maybe this isn't the end all be all for the challenges. Recently the ice bucket challenge started making its comeback, and that's what I want to see more of. Like, let's bring back the wholesome challenges on the internet. Our generation's obsession with serial killers too was also a weird thing. The fact that serial killers be having lines of women ready for them is such a weird concept to me. I just want once, just once for them to be released and manage to marry one of these fans and have all the fangirls with the Pikachu shock face when he ends up stabbing her while she's sleeping. I don't know what they think is gonna
Alright,
happen,
that is
but it's not gonna
wild.
be a honeymoon. One notable
That is wild, but it was I feel like exactly what he is about to talk on, that Jeffrey Dahmer shit. When his video or his show came out on Netflix, a lot of girls, like I was still in school when that shit came out, so a lot of girls would talk about that shit. A lot of guys would talk about it too. But when I hear people fanboying over it, I would sit there and also be like, y'all know that y'all fanboying over like a murderer, right? And they was like, no, no, we're fanboying over the actor. And then they end up like looking up at another murder mystery video. I'm like, so you fanboying over this one? No, no, we just like the case. Like, I don't know. I feel like looking at the murder mystery shit, it's nothing wrong with it. I feel like that shit straight. Even I look at certain shit when it comes to like cases like this. I watched the Jeffrey Dahmer shit, but like when you OD it, like again, there's a point of like when you watch this content, there's a point of it where it does destroy you mentally. So like I also feel like these tapes also like kind of equal to
Incident
it
from our
too.
generation of this serial killer obsession we can't forget is Jeffrey Dahmer. Specifically when the show reenacting his life released on Netflix.
This nigga, so many girls was fanboying over this nigga, and they, well, they don't really look alike. I'm not gonna hold you, but the fact that Jeffrey Dahmer looked close to this nigga, that's why a lot of girls was fanboying over that nigga. And I felt like that shit was crazy. Like it's crazy to hear people who are like again, and this was me at a young age, but people like 16, 17. Oh my god, I'm in love with Jeffrey Dahmer. I'm like that shit is crazy to hear. That shit like low key made me feel disgusted.
You see, Jeffrey Dahmer already had fangirls back in the 90s when he first got locked up, sending him all their money and gifts and their nudes. Sending a gay
Crazy.
man your nudes as a woman has got to be the biggest
That's
intentional
crazy.
airball of all time. I would say a majority of Gen Z did know about Jeffrey Dahmer, but a lot of people didn't. So when Netflix released this show and it went #1, he got introduced to a whole new generation on the mainstream. And as they always say, history repeats itself. TikTok was flooded with simp edits for him. They took no time immediately making edits of him on TikTok.
Didn't know.
Till I die, all these lollies call me rubbing on her thigh.
TikTok had to go on a spree deleting a bunch of these edits after they were going viral. And you could see a bunch of women in the comments talking about he's so dreamy and kind-hearted. I say we f around and let them find out. Oh wait, we can't because he's dead. Even killers in our generation are getting simped over. In 2021, a guy named Cameron Herron got sentenced to 24 years in prison. The reason was because he was speeding and hit a mom with her daughter, killing them on the spot. One of the most heartless things you can do. And
I remember that shit. Bruh, I looked in the comments, you'll see shit like, oh, free bluey eyes, dreamy bluey eyes. Oh, he's so fine. He couldn't have done it. Oh, I'ma sit here and post bail for him. Like, this is the shit that y'all indulge. Like, bro, TikTok, I ain't even gonna lie. I was one of those niggas when TikTok got banned. I really didn't give a fuck. But that was because I was used to hearing content like this being like pushed out, and it made me like kind of stray away from it. I did try to blow my channel up off of TikTok, but it wasn't really. I couldn't really stay on it. Like TikTok really just felt like brain rot to me.
just like Jeffrey Dahmer, they were making edits of Cameron. They went as far to even make a petition for him to be released that got 22,000 signatures on it. I'm not gonna lie, I don't ever want to hear women say men are more down bad when like this exists. Would men do the same if a similar thing happened with a woman that looked good? Absolutely, 100%. It'd probably be actually double the amount of signatures. But that shows we really equal for real. Gen Z just likes to obsess over any danger in any aspect, like music too. Bro, I'll never forget when every rapper started rocking a shiesty in 2020. Everyone and their mother were running to the store to buy them. The shiesty hit the social media streets like crack. If you grew up around typical YNs, you already saw them rocking it before it became popular. So to me, it was funny growing up and seeing it go from purely hood wearing them to Billy from Utah with a loving family. Some people really don't know how big the reach is. As y'all know, I was in Japan for about
I would say this, and this nigga cooking, cause shiesties are everywhere. If y'all the type of niggas that wear shiesties all the time, I ain't even gonna lie, you are ODing that shit. But when it comes to it, I know there is fits that look decent or at least look good when you do have a shiesty or something like cover up on. It's like it's not that far different from having a do rag or some shit. But me personally, I never wore a shiesty. I thought like that shit was too hot on the face. I already wear dreads and shit, so I don't want that shit to look all clunky and like I don't know. Like some people don't really think of that shit. They'll sit there and put a shiesty on, put a hoodie on, and you in like Florida or some shit, hot as hell. Like what the fuck are you doing in the middle of summer wearing this shit, bro? Like you don't look cool. You look
2 weeks
hot.
this past month. Go follow and like the IG post, by the way, because I'm looking sexy. And I can't make this up. I seen a fully Japanese guy wearing a shiesty and sagging in Tokyo. The only gang you've been fighting is the Hidden Leaf Village, man. Take that off. Out of rap, our generation takes the most dangerous aspects and tries to emulate it. It can't be that lyrical because people call that corny. You pull up to the function rapping like Eminem and people are just gonna die laughing at you. Gangster rap from the past versus now doesn't even come close. Back then, the most you had was 50 Cent and you knew his lore and how he grew up in the streets. People thought they were leading the hood when listening to Many Men. But nowadays, you got whole documentaries on rappers who are admitted serial killers. King Von becoming so big has gotta be an indicator that our generation is really obsessed with violence. Everybody who listened to him knew damn well this man was dropping people left and right on the streets. And that's what added to the appeal for our generation. Okay.
100 likes, and I'll check out the King Von lore. I'll check out what videos he talking about. I ain't trying to push all the violence or all that shit. I ain't one of those people who believe that shit should chill. But in the same time, like y'all did this shit back in the day, like he was talking about. We had 50 Cent lore. We had all these niggas who was on the street killing, even though they did it in silence. People knew about the shit that they did, and they would talk it up, and it would get passed on. Like people would talk about it. So it's the same thing. Like we just like spreading the lore of the people that lived on. I believe when we push it on in our culture, it's not that healthy. Like to say all black people are like this, that's not healthy. I'm not gonna hold you. But when we sit here and like explore the people who lived on and don't make the same mistakes that they did, I feel like that is like great. We sit here and look at 50 Cent now. This man's rich. This nigga's chilling in his house. You don't see him sitting here spraying, killing niggas or doing anything in the street. He's just him. He vibing. If y'all listen to his music, if y'all look at his past and lore, and y'all live past his mistakes, y'all do the shit that he did to like come up to make himself better. Y'all probably feel better too. Y'all probably have a better mindset.
It has always been a thing in rap where people ask, is the rapper really living what they rap? Which I think people are starting to care less about and more care about if the song is just good. I think us losing some of the biggest rappers to this violence kind of made it and put us off. I remember when Lil Tecca was breaking down his song lyrics and making sure people know he's not actually on any of that type of shit. Honestly, it felt refreshing and was hilarious to watch.
I got 2 twin Glocks, turn you to a dancer. I don't have no straps for nobody. I don't got no straps.
But people still want to feel the real thing, and I think that's what King Von did. The whole YN culture taking over in general shows me our generation also just wants to obsess over violence just because. I know hella people make fun of Cardi listeners and the average Ken Carson fan, Destroy Lonely, whatnot. But I'd rather Billy from Utah obsess over Cardi and try to act mysterious than Billy from Utah obsess over King Von and him be a young boy. Like, bro, the top enemy to black people in America is the YN because it makes the whole community look bad. And the fact that it's the most glorified on social media is a blow to the face. Because you'll have the old white people looking at their grandkids and them reenacting Murder on My Mind and blaming everyone that's black for it, even though most black people don't even like them either. I just imagine them waking up one morning and seeing their bundle of joy in their front yard recording a music video like this.
You say you crazy, can you see me and you do nada? Yeah, you do nada, nada thing. Yeah, I keep my head level-headed, walking through the rain. Walking through the rain. You won't understand why I fall if you're on this fucking chain. Yeah, I try to skinny, put my hoodie up, and bust a
TikTok, as always, I love.
All right. I'm sorry this was a preachy ass video. I don't want y'all to sit here and just be like, "Oh my god, he talked my ear off. He did all that." But like I tried to do what I had to do. I had to make my own content from it. But when it came to it, this nigga is talking about some real shit. When it came to the loss of a lot of great rappers, I feel like a lot of people did assess on more of the real shit. Like when we had a lot of people that did, I wouldn't say push violence, but pushed emotional music that made people actually feel things. Like Juice World and X, when we lost people like them, it ended up making our like where we search for inspiration or all these role models where we look for of a person that looks like us. I feel like that's what made it shift. Like we ended up, y'all know what I mean. Well, shit. If y'all want to see more videos like this, I got TommyNFG. Like I said, I'm talking. I'm sorry for all the yapping, but I did come up with a smooth video. Hopefully, if y'all want to see more videos like this, please like, comment, and subscribe. If y'all want to see the King Von lore or anybody's lore, let me know down in the comments and put 100 likes. If I get 100 likes, or if y'all put something down in the comments and it get more than 50 likes, I'll make a video about it. After that, ain't nothing much to say. I see y'all buds later. Peace.